I'm Eric Wright from Wright's Agriculture. We're a family farming and contracting business. We're combinable cropping 3,000 hectares across Leicestershire and South Nottinghamshire, growing wheat, oilseed rape, winter barley, spring oats, and some combinable maize. We're running 3 S-Series John Deeres, which have been on traditional auger platforms before we had an amazing demonstration with a McDon Flex Draper. It was just a complete turning point in harvesting for us, because where we'd struggled, we didn't realise how much we'd struggled until we put a McDon Flex Draper, and it just made the whole operation effortless. We were doing a good job, we were going quicker, the combine was always full, and we couldn't believe the improvement in productivity by putting this on the front of the combine. The start of our harvest was effortless, and that carried on all the way through. This spring barley, we wondered exactly how we were going to get it up. It had brackled badly, the ground was uneven, it was not we wondered how much we were going to leave on the floor, but it was when we put the Flex Draper on, it just effortlessly hoovered it all up, travelling 3 kilometres an hour faster. We're picking it all up, and we were getting another one of our big square bales to the acre as well, which was just completely amazing. We went for the Draper system, and especially the McDon Flex Draper. We are trying to get as much out of these machines as we can, and so to be able to start an hour earlier in the morning and to be able to keep going an hour or 2 later, or even push on in conditions that you wouldn't be able to physically cut with an auger header, just made the biggest difference for us. So whatever Draper system we chose, we just knew one thing, that we're going to have belts and not augers moving forward. But the McDon just had that extra bit over all the competition. The Float Flex module, with suspending the header on the front, just gliding across the field, we just never bunged the knife up, which is something that we did on all the other Drapers that we tried. We were really sceptical about the service and backup from McDon, being a Canadian company with parts warehouse in Germany, but it wasn't until we sort of saw the support in the demonstration, then after helping us through the purchase, the installation, the getting set up, right from sales all the way through to service. Everybody that you deal with has got experience with the product, and you've got the confidence that if you have a problem, and touch wood, it's been amazing so far, we've not needed any real support, that we know that there's the people and the parts available to us to get us back up and running. And it's it's just been amazing to see that. The whole harvest just goes so smoothly, and where you're normally worried about what the header's doing, holding the combine back, it's now the combine which is being held back because it's got a constant feed. Been able to really make the most of these poor conditions with the Flex Draper. I can't quantify the extra output and the extra crop that we've got that we would have lost on all these laid crops if we hadn't have had the McDon. We've been running the McDon Flex Draper and the auger head together. It's really noticeable in the straw row how the crop's being fed in the front of the machine, so we'd see lots of little lumps all the way through the straw row on the back of the auger head, whereas the straw row at the back of the McDon combine is just completely smooth, and you hear that in the engine, you see that in the performance of the machine. Everything is just run so consistently, completely amazing. Of the simplicity of the McDon Flex Draper, the only one sensor on the machine is just on the trunking on the back plate. That's compared with a traditional header, which is littered with sensors to try and maintain the height. So easy to use, and there's so little things to wear or get damaged that you spend your whole time cutting and not repairing these little bits to try and keep the header optimised. Not only did we recover all of the crop, but we got all of the straw as well. Looking at some laid fields, and we were worried about what we're going to do, and then you put the McDon in there, and once you've pulled out the field with the combine, it looks like it was a perfectly stud crop that you've raised it off at the floor with nothing left behind, and it's just nothing else we've tried was able to do that so consistently as what the McDon Flex Draper was, because we saw what it did for us last year, and then that's followed suit all the way through this harvest. The 2 operators on the McDon Flex Drapers are over the moon. There's not once that he ever said, "How's it going? There's a problem with the header. Or it's not feeding very well, or we've got to stop because it's not going in." That has completely just sort of transformed and revolutionised the business. The header is now not the restricting factor of the harvest. If we're coming up to some bad weather, we know that we'll have the ability, if we wanted to run through the night, we've got more chance of being able to do it with the Mukton flex draper than we would anything else that we've had. It's the smile it puts on your face when you're not having to worry about what's in front of you. You can just focus about everything else around you. It's just so effortless to use to do the best job that the very best operator with the best setup auger header would never ever achieve. Not just enjoyable, it's like here, it's effortless. We're cruising up and down, we've got the combine full load. Harvest used to be wheat and rape. It was easy. Auger heads were not a problem at all. As I said, ran through the crops earlier, so spring barley, spring oats, winter barley, all these crops. It's so difficult to get through an auger head. You need perfect conditions. The difference is that the flex draper means that less than perfect